Okay, hi guys. Last time we stopped here, we talked about HTML. We started our web development from start, and we stopped at HTML, and we learned some tags. These are some of the tags we learned. We learned the strong tag, we went down to the bold tag, the emphasis tag, the italics tag, the cite, the del, the block code, the break tag, the superscript, subscript, HR, the H1 to H6, the P tag, and I remember telling you that the span and the div will be taken especially some other day. So the last time we met, we created our website and we had something good. We had something like this. Okay, let me go to where our website was saved so that I could open the website we made the other time. Okay, so when we created our website, we had something like this. So this was the site we created. Fine. Okay, that's not where we want to stay. We want something better than this. So today we'll be moving on, learning more things, and I'll be explaining some things that I feel you should understand as a developer, as a web designer, because you're still a web designer, or as a web developer, whichever way. So let's move on today. Let's back to our lesson. So today we'll be learning how to add images to our website. You know, when you go online, you see site that has images that looks good, looks great. So today we want to add image to our website. Now we have this tag called image tag. Now in web develop in HTML, sorry for that. In HTML, the image tag doesn't come alone. One, it's a self-closing tag, just like I've shown you in the past, some self-closing tag. But the image tag doesn't come alone. It's the kind of tag that has some other attributes inside, meaning inside the our angular bracket, aside having the image tag, we have some other things, some other attributes that work together with it. Just like you can see here, we have the image itself, then we have the src, that's the source, that is the path where the file is, the file name, or a path through where we'll get the file from. Then we have an alt, that's an alternative text. Normally alternative text is usually used to display in case the image is not there, or sometimes when we have some special people like the blind people reading through your site. You know, a blind person cannot see an image, but a screen recorder, or a screen reader rather, will read through everything on the site. So instead of getting there and just not saying anything, the alternate text will be read to the blind person to know that okay, there was an image here named so. So most times we have to make our alternate text, that's our alt, to be explanatory, not too long, something short. For example, you have an image excuse me, you have a website, and you have an image name, probably the image of the CEO of the company. So your alternate text could be image of CEO so that will make it easy for a blind person when going through your site to be able to understand, okay, this is what they're trying to say here. Okay, without wasting much of our time, we'll be trying out our image tag and see how it looks like. Okay, remember our last code, this is where we stopped, this was our code. So let me make our site a bit good. So let's rearrange our site. Let's put our header at the beginning. Let's put our header at the beginning here. It's okay, h1, the beginning. Sorry, let me say my website. Okay, so after that we have all these, then we can remove all this. Let's get rid of all this. Let's see how it looks like. It was making a better sense. Okay, good. Let's have it this way. Then let me remove one of the paragraphs so that we don't have too much paragraphs here. Let me get rid of this paragraph, and let me get rid of this, one of the emphasis text. Let's just maintain the italics, the delete, the block quotes. Let me just take away some text from the block quotes. Just want it smaller, want everything to be compact. Okay, see our page is still good this way. Okay, now let's add our image. Now the first thing before you can add an image is, in your folder where you store your web pages, you need to have an image inside. or you could just do it this way. You could organize it, create another folder inside that same folder where you kept your web pages, and you can call it image or images. Then inside it you can now add your image. You can drag your image from anywhere in your system and put it there. Now I'll be doing two things. I'll be showing you how to add an image when it's not in any extra directory. For example, we have the image right here in the same folder where we kept our web folders, and when we have it in another folder called image, that's when we have it in an extra directory. So let's start with the first one. Let's bring our image after my website. We'll say img src. Now src, that will be the path to the image. Now if you look at our Sublime here, you can see we have the image in the same folder. Our folder here is called lesson, so we have the image in the same folder as index.html. So at this point we just write lesson.jpg. How do I know it's jpg? Look at the extension here, it's written coding.jpg. sorry, so the name of the image is coding.jpg. So if I save this now and go to our web page and refresh, you can see I have a very big image. Now let's make use of some of the attributes we have in image. We have the height. You can just say, okay, let's say the height is equal to, let's just say 50. We have the width, let's say 50. Should go back there and refresh. Now you can see our image looks much more better now. Okay, what other attributes do we have in our image? We have the width image, we have the align, we have the border. So let's try out all our attributes. Let's increase our height to like 100, and our width to like 100 to make it a bit bigger. So let's say align, let's give it right. Then border, so 5. Now let's check, let's see if we have exactly what we thought we'll have. Now can you see we have a border around the image is aligned to the right, and we have our text here. Doesn't make any sense. Yes, now our website is taking shape. I'm going to have something sensible, something for people to see. Okay, some people will say it's not as good as Facebook, it's not as good as Twitter. Yeah, we'll get there. There was a time Twitter was like this before everything becomes extraordinarily good. So when we get there, we get to see how exactly our site will look like. Okay, we'll move on from here. Okay, that's all about our images. Okay, I promise that I'll show you what if we have the image in another folder. Like now I have another coding in another folder. So in order for us not to mix it up, I'm going to rename this. Let me rename it as codes.jpg so that it will look different from this one. So if you have your image in another folder, all you just need to do is you reference the folder. The name of the folder is images, and this / codes.jpg. That means go into a folder called images, then search for codes.jpg. So if I come here now and refresh my page, you can see we're still having the same image, because that's the same image we are using, the image you have in the same folder and the one we have in images folder. You could just right click on it and say, okay, open image in a new tab. Now from here you look at the top here, and here you could see the name of the image that we are using, the codes.jpg. Okay, let's move on. That's when you have your image in a separate folder. Now let's go to what we call the list. The list is very important in creating your website, because at one point or the other you always need to make use of the list, and if you don't know how to use it, so how do you get to use it? Now we have two types of lists. We have the numbered list. That particular one does numbering in sequential order. And we have the one we call the unordered list. That's the bullet point. So I'm making use of the two lists, and let's see how it looks like. So this is a kind of tag that has another tag inside. That is, in this tag we'll be doing what we call nesting. we'll be nesting one tag to another. Okay, let's check out let's start from the ordered list. Let's come here now. Sorry, let me take off this. Okay, let me just have a paragraph and say list of games I love to play. Now here I'll start with an ordered list. I'll close my ordered list here. Then inside my ordered list, now list my item. That's when we use the li. So okay, number 1. So we don't have to come here and say okay 1 again. Automatically, since an ordered list, we have number 1 written there. Let's say okay FIFA 22. So GTA 5. Come here and say Assassin's Creed X1. Also have Need for Speed. Okay, it's okay this way. So let's check our browser. Go back to your browser, refresh. Now you can see list of games I love to play. I have FIFA 22, GTA. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So as to keep numbering, we keep having, as we keep adding more lists, we keep having the numbering 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and so on and so forth. Okay, let's change down to the unordered list. All you just need to just use this OL to UL. Let's have this to be UL. If we should save this and come back here and refresh our page, you can see we're having bullets. That's for the unordered list. So I believe you guys are trying out something in your system. So let's move on to the next one. Now I want to talk about what we call hyperlink. Now what is hyperlink? Okay, I believe you visited a lot of websites in the past, and all your website doesn't have a single page. They have more than one pages. For instance, your company's website has a home, about, contacts, what else do we have, gallery, and so on and so forth. Probably if it's an e-commerce website, then you have the shop, you have the checkout, and so on. Now you have a text at the top where about is written. When you click on the text, it takes you to the about page. Now how do we get to do that? That's what we call an hyperlink. So now we want to learn how to link 2 or more pages together. Now, so how do we start? Firstly, let's create another page. Let's create another web page inside our folder. So I'll come here, I'll say new file, and I'll save this file as let me call it about.html. So if I should come here and type my HTML, it's okay. The title should be about us page. Then in the body, I'll come here and let me use my h2 tag. I say okay. Let me just write about us. About us. So after that, let me come here and use my paragraph tag. I say, hi, we are a group of talented web developers learning things that will change the world. Okay, so if I'm to check this now, I have to go into my folder, then right click on about, then go to open, then go to Firefox. You can see this is the about us page. I believe you can see from here. Can you see this about us page? So how do we get to this page? How do we navigate from here to the next page? So here we go. That's where we have our hyperlink coming in. Now we have a tag we call the anchor tag, but it's normally represented as A. we have an angular bracket, then a. Then we have some attributes inside, like the href, the target, and the likes. But today we're just going to be talking about the href. When we go further in the course, I'll be teaching us on about other attributes that are inside an anchor tag. So now let's talk about the a. Then the a, just like we have the image tag, immediately we have the image, there's a space, then we have the other attributes. Now the first tag you have here is the a, that's the anchor tag. Then inside we have the attribute like href. Href means the address of the other site that we want to link to our current website. So we created a site called about.html. Now let's go into our file. Let me link it here. I say okay, href. Now because the other file and this particular file, the other web page, they're in the same folder. So all we just need to do is we just write about.html. We don't have to put www or anything because they're in the same folder. Now the text that you see on the screen that you click that takes to the page, that's what you now write here. It's okay. Go to sorry, I'm supposed to do this on the home page, that's in the index, so that from here we'll just go there. Okay, let me put this here, my website. Let me just put it here. Okay, so go to about. Save this. I should go to our website. First, you can see we have what we call go to about here. So if I click on this, it changed to about us. That's what we call hyperlink. Now we're able to link two pages together. Okay, how do we go back to our other page without using the back button? We could as well create the same thing here. We just create another one here. We call it. If you go to index.html, you'll say okay, go back home. We'll save this. If we go back and refresh, you'll see you have to go back to. If I click here, take us back to the home page. But if I click here, take us to the about us page. Okay, now we are getting there gradually. So we'll be learning one more tag, then we'll be calling it quit for this class. Then in 2 days time, I'll be dropping another video to continue from where we're going to stop today. Okay, now I'll be introducing us to what we call forms. Forms are going to take us a while before we finish, but I'll just introduce us to forms. Okay, what are forms? Now, some of us, we go online, we chat online, we love some, especially back then, those days when Yahoo Messenger first came in on the system. We never had a mobile app then. Anytime we are online, we just go there, we go and chat via Yahoo Messenger. I have a friend, then he calls me, he tells me, okay, by 6 p.m. I'll be on Yahoo Messenger, so I have to run there so that I could meet him online and we could chat. And sometimes we just go into something we call a room. I want to talk to people, just on strangers. You meet strangers here and there. Okay, now we have a place where you type your chat, you send your chat, you read your chat. That portion where you type your chat is a form. You go online, you want to pay for services, you want to pay for cables, you want to pay for internet. You go there, you fill some forms. Okay, my name is this, blah, that. So exactly what we're talking about. How do we create those forms? These are the bedrock of interaction when it comes to a website. This is the major tool that website normally use to communicate. Now, HTML web form allows the user to enter data that is sent to a server for processing. Now, sometimes I know you would have wondered when I typed a form, when I fill a form online and I click on submit, it goes away, then it brings me something else to do. Oh, there must be somebody behind the system that takes everything, then quickly do some magic, send something to me. No. That's not it actually. We have the form, then we have a way of processing our form. But for now, we'll be talking about our form. We're not talking about the processing of our form. We just want to talk about how to make our forms. Now, the form tag has an opening and closing tag. You can see we have the form opening and we have the closing form. And inside the opening form, we have some attributes that can be used. We have the method. Now, the method refers to the HTTP method and how to send the form data. Okay, whenever you fill a data in the form, what does the data do? Is it being sent to someone, or is the data retrieving something for you? So that's what the method means. We have the post and the get. We have the URL. We have the action, which normally takes a URL. The action takes a URL that has some special functions to whenever everything in the form is being sent to that particular URL, some special things are being done, some special functions are being carried out, and so on and so forth. So we have the autocomplete. When it's on, it automatically makes your user to autocomplete their form. Probably they filled the form before, immediately they type hi, hello, they get suggestions of exactly what they need to fill in. But when it's off, if they are filling the form the fifth time, they're writing everything afresh. So we have what we call the no validate. This one, it's a form of trying to tell people that do not validate this form. What do I mean by validation? There are times when you go on some website, when you want to fill a form, immediately you fill in your details. For instance, you left a particular column, a particular line, a particular column of form unfilled, and you want to submit. You start saying things like, sorry, this place is compulsory, your phone number is needed, you need to write your phone number, blah blah, and this and that. Now that's what we call the validate attribute. When we say no validate, it means the form should not be validated. So all these attributes are used in the form, and in our next class we'll be making use of form. I actually don't want this class to be too long. I want us to be taking it step by step. In 2 more classes we should be done with HTML, then we'll move down to CSS, and we'll start doing some styling. Then you start seeing your site looking good, looking great. Okay, thank you guys. See you in our next class. That's in 2 days time, when I'll be dropping another video. Okay, bye.